Picture paradise, a place where turquoise waters kiss white cliffs, where sunshine dances on marble villas, and the air smells of salt and citrus. Now, strip away the beauty. Imagine those same cliffs echoing not with laughter but with screams. Imagine children stolen, senators trembling, and an emperor whose heart had withered into something monstrous. This is not myth, this is history. The story of Tiberius, Rome's reluctant ruler who abandoned the eternal city for a private island empire of fear, paranoia, and unimaginable depravity. Tonight, we peel back the marble mask of power to reveal the rot beneath. The man Rome hailed as a savior, and cursed as a monster. The man before the monster, before the shadows of Capri. There was a soldier, Tiberius Claudius Nero, later Tiberius Caesar Augustus, was not born to be loved, nor to be a legend. He was born to be a tool of the state. Tall, imposing, with eyes as cold as steel. He embodied discipline rather than charm. He lacked the charisma of Julius Caesar, the political brilliance of Augustus. But what he did possess was a soldier's precision, and a heart scarred by relentless sorrow. From the start, tragedy stalked him. His brother Drusus, his confidant and companion in arms, died young, a wound Tiberius never healed. Then came his greatest heartbreak, Papania Agrippina, the woman he adored. Politics tore them apart. Augustus himself commanded the divorce, forcing Tiberius into a humiliating marriage with Julia, Augustus's daughter, famed not for virtue, but for scandal. To Rome, Julia was imperial nobility. To Tiberius, she was daily torment. He retreated into duty, marching with legions across Germania, fighting wars not for glory, but to escape the misery of his private life. Here was a man of contradictions, obedient yet resentful, capable yet bitter, a man forged in grief, duty, and humiliation. And beneath that iron discipline, something inside him was cracking. This was not yet the monster, but the monster waited, quietly, inside the man. The ascent to power when Augustus died in 14 AD, Rome looked to Tiberius as the steady hand to continue stability. And at first, he seemed precisely that. He ruled cautiously, restrained, even modestly. He avoided reckless wars, safeguarded Rome's treasury, and let the Senate believe falsely that their ancient authority still mattered. For a fleeting moment, Rome glimpsed a ruler of wisdom. But behind the marble facade, resentment simmered. Tiberius never sought the throne. It was thrust upon him. To him, each new honor felt like a chain, each laurel crown a shackle. Duty had carved deep grooves of bitterness into his soul, and in this quiet bitterness, the seeds of darkness were planted. The breaking point. Grief and paranoia in 23 AD. Tragedy struck again. His son Drusus the Younger, his last hope of familial love, died suddenly. Rome whispered of poison, whether truth or rumor mattered little. To Tiberius, it was betrayal. His grief curdled into paranoia. The emperor who once restrained himself began to unravel. Who could he trust if even blood was treacherous? Ministers, generals, senators, all became suspects. Rome's ruler began to vanish, replaced by a shadow. Retreat to Capri. Paradise becomes prison in 26 AD. Tiberius abandoned Rome. He retreated to Capri, an island fortress of beauty and horror. To the public, it was explained as a retreat for his health. In reality, it was escape from politics, from scrutiny, from morality itself. On Capri, he built 12 opulent villas, each a palace of secrecy. From there, by courier, he ruled an empire, signing death warrants between indulgences. Capri's breathtaking cliffs became a gilded coffin, hiding acts so monstrous that whispers alone turned blood cold. Children were brought to Capri, some under promise of education, others abducted. They were not students, they were prey. The horrors of Capri here, history takes a chilling turn. Capri became the stage for horror. Children forced into grotesque games, called minnows, swimming between the emperor's legs. Others trained as spintry, enslaved for acts so vile Latin lacked words to describe them. The villas themselves bore witness. Walls decorated with explicit art imported from Greece became scripts for victims to perform. Nobles offered their own children to win favor. Procurers scoured provinces for new captives. Guards silenced survivors forever. Rumors spread like wildfire. Infants defiled. Sacred rites twisted into grotesque parodies. Capri's marble halls became Rome's nightmare, ruled by letter. Terror from afar. Though absent, Tiberius's grip tightened. He ruled Rome by letter. With a stroke of his pen, he condemned senators, generals, ordinary citizens. The law of maestas, once meant to protect Rome's dignity, became a weapon of terror. Careless words, a coin in a latrine, a mocking poem from youth, all grounds for execution. A new class of creditors thrived, the delators and informers who grew rich by accusing others. Trust dissolved. Neighbors betrayed neighbors. Parents feared their children's whispers in sleep. The Senate groveled. voting death sentences in desperation. Rome became a city of silence. Capri was a prison of bodies, Rome a prison of souls. Cruelty as spectacle for Tiberius. Fear was not enough. Cruelty became entertainment. Prisoners promised mercy were executed days later. Parents forced to watch their children's deaths. Banquets where guests laughed, knowing dessert might bring their death warrant. He devised torments so grotesque they became theater. Victims overfed until their bodies ruptured, bladders bound to prolong agony. His own face, ravaged by sores, became a mask of rot. He trusted no one. Guards watched guards. The disciplined soldier was gone. Only the sadist remained. The fall of Sejanus 4 years. Lucius alias Sejanus, prefect of the Praetorian Guard, was Tiberius's iron fist. Ambitious, ruthless, indispensable. But in 31 AD, whispers claimed his ambition threatened the throne. From Capri, with one letter, Tiberius destroyed him. The Senate turned instantly. Sejanus executed, his allies purged, even his innocent children slaughtered. His daughter, a virgin, raped before execution, so law would permit her death. The message was unmistakable. No loyalty guaranteed safety, not even the emperor's right hand. The final years and death by his final years, Tiberius was a husk, ravaged, paranoid, clinging to life with astrologers, food tasters, layers of guards. In March 37 AD, death came. Some say disease, others whisper murder, macro, smothering him at last. When Rome heard it did not mourn, crowds shouted, "To the Tiber with Tiberius." His body nearly denied imperial burial. Caligula, his successor, secured him honors, but hollow ones. Rome remembered not a ruler, but a monster. Legacy, the warning of Capri. Rome survived him, but never healed. The Senate never regained dignity. Poets fell silent. Historians wrote an allegory. Fearing truth, Capri's villas stood abandoned, whispered of as cursed. His legacy was poison. He proved emperors could be monsters. He proved fear could silence a civilization. That law itself could become a weapon. That paradise could become a prison. The warning remains eternal. Evil does not always come as an invader at the gates. Sometimes it wears a crown, cloaks itself in duty, and hides behind beauty. The waves of Capri wash endlessly now, as though to cleanse the screens. But history remembers, and in remembering, we are warned. Civilizations fall not from weakness alone, but when vigilance fails, and when fear replaces freedom.